So I'm sure we all know already what's happening with this Amazon Lord of the Rings situation. We've seen so many Tolkien fans, so many just original Lord of the Rings fans come out and just trash all over the new Amazon Lord of the Rings because it deserves to be trashed on. It's obvious that Amazon and whoever's creating the show just has no regard for what Tolkien did, has no regard for the original Lord of the Rings movies, and they just want to push their own agendas, push their own politics into the Lord of the Rings IP. You know, they wanted to make a show that's similar to Game of Thrones, and they wanted to inject a lot of politics and agendas into it, and they thought that, hey, if we get the Lord of the Rings IP, we put the Lord of the Rings name on it, it could bring in an audience that's already built in. You know, get the built-in audience, and then maybe the show will be good and get good word of mouth and stuff like that. It's not going to happen. The show's obviously going to be pretty bad. I think everybody should maybe give it a shot if you want to, but I don't think it's going to be any good. I'll try it out, but I can't see this show being good. And even if it is good, even if it is well written, has a great story, if it directly contradicts Tolkien and the original Lord of the Rings movies, it's kind of it doesn't really matter how good it is. You know, people are not going to like it. Lord of the Rings fans are not going to like their lore, you know, their canon being contradicted, especially when they're straight up disrespecting the original creator of the IP that's beloved by so many people. But we also have some other actors, and I think that they've been pretty silent on this, probably for, you know, a reason. But whenever it comes to these older, more seasoned actors who really just have nothing to lose at this point, they've already done what they're going to do, and they're probably not going to be canceled regardless because they're just so, like, everyone in Hollywood knows them. They have so many connections. He'll be able to get a job no matter what he says, really, unless he says something really, really bad that all sides can agree is cancel worthy, which is most likely never going to happen. Then he'll probably get a job forever. Lord of the Rings star Ian McKellen rejects the idea that actors must share qualities or exact qualities as their characters. We're acting, we're pretending. I agree with this 100%. This has been something that I never understood, and I think a lot of other people agree with me. I don't understand why people, I think Scarlett Johansson came out a few months ago, or maybe it was a year ago at this point, and said, I don't understand why I have to share, like, why do I have to have the same sexuality as the character that I'm playing? Like, if I want to play a gay person and I'm straight, why is that a problem? If I want to play a Jewish person when I'm Christian, why is that a problem? That shouldn't be a problem. And that's kind of the example that he uses in here, is the religion one. Though the idea that an actor must share the exact physical and mental qualities as the characters they portray has been growing ever more popular across the Western entertainment industry, legendary X-Men and Lord of the Rings star Ian McKellen disagrees with the entire notion. And I'm sure it's probably no coincidence that he's being asked stuff like this with this new Amazon Lord of the Rings stuff coming out. Obviously, he's not directly talking about that. We'll get into more Lord of the Rings stuff a little bit later. I just thought that because he is such a legendary actor and a big part of the Lord of the Rings series, I did want to bring this up in the Lord of the Rings video. But let's continue on and see what exactly Ian McKellen had to say. McKellen broached the topic during a March 3rd published interview with BBC. Media editor Emal Rajan, I don't know how to say his name, asked by the prolific journalist for his thoughts on the recent outrage against Helen Mirren's casting as the lead in an upcoming biopic about former Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir due to the actress's lack of Jewish heritage. The Magneto actor asserted there are two things. Is the argument that a Gentile cannot play a Jew, and is the argument therefore that a Jew cannot play a Gentile. The thing is, I think when it comes to, you know, a man should not play a woman, and a woman shouldn't play a man. Like, if a character or a person is historically a man, probably shouldn't be played by a woman, and vice versa. Same thing when it comes to skin color. It takes away from the escapism. It takes you out of whatever you're watching. Whenever you know that someone is a certain skin color or a certain gender or whatever it is, and then you see someone who's the total opposite, I don't think that should be the thing, because it's well known that they're that thing, you know. So it definitely does take away from the escapism whenever stuff like that happens. But whenever it's a religion or something that's not tangible, something that you can't actually see, ideology or a religion or a sexuality or whatever it is, I don't think it matters that much. I really don't think that it should matter at all. I'm not too, like, I don't get too mad about it, but I think that this is, it's pretty stupid. But with all the stupid things that is happening in Hollywood, all the stupid philosophies that they have now, it just gets old at a point. It gets to a certain point where you just can't even be mad at it anymore. You just kind of roll your eyes and move on, because that's just the way it is. They're just weirdos. They're very weird, and they're probably never going to change. He also goes on to say, is the argument that a straight man cannot play a gay part? And if so, does that mean I can't play straight parts and I'm not allowed to explore the fascinating subject of heterosexuality and Macbeth? Surely not, McKellen concluded. We're acting. We're pretending. That's exactly right. You're pretending to be certain things that you aren't. You know, you're not, every time you play a character, you're not actually that character. Do you think Robert Pattinson is Batman in real life? No, he's pretending to be Batman. Do you think that you have to go find an actual Batman in real life to go play Batman? The answer is no, because they don't exist. But the example still holds up. You don't have to go find an actual gay person to play a gay person. You don't have to find an actual Jewish person to play a Jewish person. You just don't have to. It's just really, really stupid. Mirren was first accused of engaging in Jew face for her role in the currently in production Golda in January, when British actress and comedian Dame Maureen Lipman stated that she disagreed with Mirren's casting because the Jewishness of the character is so integral. It just doesn't make any sense. These weirdos, they're so brainwashed, man. It's like, can you even get mad at them? Can you even blame them? Because it's so obvious that they've just been brainwashed by Hollywood over the years. It's really not even their fault. You can even, whenever you're on social media for a good amount of time, whenever you're spending too much time on social media, you can just tell, because you start to adopt certain ideologies and certain philosophies, and you start to get brainwashed a little bit. And that's when I know it's time for me to step away. Whenever I start getting scared of certain things that I know I shouldn't be scared of, because people on Twitter are constantly telling me to be scared of this, be scared of that, be worried about this, be worried about that. That's when I know it's time to step away. These people, they don't have the option to step away. This is what they want to do for their living. So they're indoctrinated with all these ideas that are just so stupid, and they're rewarded for going to the most extreme that they can possibly go. So at every point in time, everyone is trying to one up at each other on how extreme their wokeism could go, to where we get to the point where stuff like this is happening, where people who are not Jewish can't play Jewish characters without being canceled. It's the dumbest thing ever, but they're all competing for who can say the most woke thing. That's what they're doing, and it makes this environment where you can't really do anything. You can't operate in this environment because you're so scared that you're going to say or do something that will get you canceled and that will get you shunned from Hollywood. It's the weirdest thing, but at the same time, it's been around for so long now. It's been happening so consistently and so commonly that it's just an eye roll thing now. But it is ridiculous, and I'm glad people like Ian McKellen are stepping up and saying this is really stupid. But also, let's go check in on the Lord of the Rings ratios. Amazon Prime Video UK's ratio is still at 5.2 million views, 23,000 likes to 56,000 dislikes. This one's not moving too much, but the US version is still moving a good bit. 28.6 million views, 105k likes to 156k dislikes. Last time I checked, I think the last video that I did on this, it was around 103k likes to 150k dislikes. So still moving up quite a bit, still moving up 6,000 in a couple days. So it's still going. People are still watching this trailer. People are still interacting with this trailer. People are still leaving comments of the J.R.R. Tolkien quote. Shout out to all the J.R.R. Tolkien fans out there who are leaving these comments in my comment section, and also in all the other Prime Video comment sections. I'm sure that a lot of people out there think it's pointless, but it's definitely good to let Amazon know why people are disliking this stuff. It's good that we don't just ratio it and then they're like, oh, these weirdos, they're just ratioing it because they don't want any more Lord of the Rings content made. No, that's not the case. I wouldn't mind. I'm sure that most Lord of the Rings fans out there wouldn't mind if they continued the Lord of the Rings series. It's just you have to show respect, and it's really not that difficult. It's not that hard of a thing to do, to just simply show respect to the source material, show respect to the original creator. It's really not that hard. And it's good that all these fans out there, all these Tolkien fans, are letting Amazon know that their Lord of the Rings, their Rings of Power series, it's not being ratioed just simply because it's Lord of the Rings. That's not why. It's because you're not doing it in the proper way, and it's obvious that they don't care about the fans. It's obvious that they're going to pull another Last Jedi situation with Rian Johnson and the rest of Lucasfilm, where they're just laughing in the faces of fans because they're mad at them for contradicting the source material. It seems like that's what it's going to be. It's going to be another Last Jedi situation where Lucasfilm is simply not only disregarding the fans' wishes, not only disregarding what the fans truly want, but also laughing in their faces when they try to criticize the show or the movie. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though, about this whole situation. What do you think about Ian McKellen's thoughts on woke Hollywood and how weird it's gotten? And let me know what you think about the ratios on the Lord of the Rings trailers. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you on the next one.